Okay, quick update on the bilge pump area, the sump that we've been working on. So we got Bob Perry's drawings out, studied them. That's what most people do in a refit. And thanks, Bob. It's been a great help. And we were looking at things. There's that new Skag area, that the new tunnel for the prop shaft and whatnot that's just been glued on the boat. But in part of that, before we did the engine bed stringers, we wanted to get this bilge sump sorted out. And so the boat's designed, the fuel tank sits right in front on top of the keel, and then any water from forward would drain down into this lower sump. And anything, of course, from the packing gland comes the other direction. So Art fabricated up and built this really nice structure that we could glue in, laminate in to the bilge. Okay. Well, before we could actually do that, we had to mix up some 2-part foam and fill in that void underneath. And so it's closed cell. It'll actually act kind of as a double bottom now. We've got, if somebody did land that boat on a reef back there and puncture the hull, it would act as a double bottom. And so mixed up the foam, put it in first. Then we glued, filleted, made a really nice, they did a great job with this little setup. And then once that was in, on the back side, we had to taper and build that out, which is going to be kind of underneath the motor mounts, and there'll be a nice drip tray under the motor mounts. So that is all done. It's in, it's looking spectacular. We're getting ready for our bilge pump systems. And so what we're going to have is, more than likely, we have a little diaphragm pump here in house. We still have to pump the water quite a ways up and out, so we're just going to have a small dewatering pump for nuisance. And if you little diaphragm pump, and then it will be run on an ultra switch. We are a huge fan of ultra switches. If you haven't seen these, I mean, look at that. They come with heat shrink connectors on them. They are potted in epoxy. So this thing does a couple of things. It'll turn the bilge pump on and off, and if it is not keeping up and it gets to the top, we have our high water alarm built in. So we'll have that system. That's just nuisance water. For a bilge pump system, in case of flooding, we're going to probably put in something about 3,700, 4,000 gallons per hour. So we're looking at a good size rural bilge pump. It'll have a float switch and a manual on. In the event of flooding, you turn that on and you keep the boat pumping out. We came upon that number with Art's rules, and from his tech tip, about 1,000 gallons per 10 feet. And so if you haven't seen his tech tip, you should watch it. We'll put a link in the show, because we also want to outfit King's Pride with a bilge pump and a bucket. So we'll have a backup to the backup, because we're crazy like that. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.